everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of In the Oven. It's going to be a new series where I play some more indie game type stuff. The first one, as you can see, is going to be Hades. I've been spending a ton of time with this game, and I absolutely love it. If you haven't played it, then watch this, see if it's something that you're going to be into. If you like the roguelite games, like the Binding of Isaac and stuff like that, you will definitely enjoy this game. There's so much to do, so much lore, so much character building. It's just really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'll have a episode on each weapon as I go on, because I've kind of started to get the hang of all of them. And then, show you the runs of each weapon and kind of the builds that I like to personally do. Doesn't mean they're, the best ones, but they're the ones that I have done the most or been able to do. You can see I have 40 attempts there. I did have God mode on there for a little bit just to get the hang of it, but that should be off now, which I will make sure of. But this game's fantastic. It's like I said, it's a roguelite game based around. It is on, so let me. Why is that off? I thought if you turn that off, you won't have that anymore. But I guess that's not the thing. Yeah, okay, well, that's going to be there. But it's a roguelite thing based on all the Greek mythology and all that. So all the Olympians and Hades, of course, is your father. You are trying to escape out into the surface. You get this plethora of weapons here. I'm just going to go down the line. I'm going to start with the sword and then spear, shield, arrow, bow, the fists, which is probably one of my favorite weapons, and then I don't remember the name of this weapon. Exegriff. And I'll show you what I was doing there. So each weapon starts as its own thing, and then you get these Titan bloods for beating certain bosses for the first time, and other currencies that you can trade in for it, and then you can get more powerful versions of it. I have the level 2 on the second aspect of it, which when you do your special attack, which I'll show you here in a minute, your attack gets critical damage, 19% chance of hitting that. So with the sword, this is definitely your basic one. You just got your normal attack. The third one does a little push away. You got your dash attack. And then you have your special, which does a little AoE slam effect. And then you have that 19% chance for a few seconds to do critical damage. And if you're feeling sad about this little guy, that's literally his job. It's to help you practice all of your weaponry. And then these, you get your little keepsake boxes. There's a few of them that I still need to get. But what these are is these let you start each encounter, which is basically each escape attempt, with something special. Most of them are the next power up you'll find will be from Poseidon and has 20% chance of being rare or better, which you rank up. But the one that I typically have been starting off with is the Harpy Feather Duster or the Spiked Collar. The Harpy Feather Duster gives you a 3% chance that any of the urns give you health items, which is really important. And it goes up as you rank that up. And as you can see there at the bottom, it says clear 5 encounters with this to rank up. So 5 rooms cleared while I have this active will clear that up. There's also, the boss in each region, you don't get hit for the first 3 times that it hits you, which is awesome. Or you do 40% more damage when you don't have a boon. I'm not really sure how to use that one yet. I haven't really figured that out. But you got your Zeus, Poseidon, who's this one? Achilles, Athena, Aphrodite, Thanatos, Charon, Ares, Artemis, Dionysus, Hermes, Demeter, Orpheus, and Megara. And then this one's Chaos. I kind of like this one too because there's these little Chaos rooms that you take damage to get into, but it gives you some pretty powerful buffs. So you just have to like inconvenience yourself for a few rounds, but they usually do some pretty powerful things. But this makes it to where you don't take damage going into those gates, and they have a 30% chance of being rare or better, which is pretty good. So, like I said, we'll start off with the sword, and I do have to do something real quick. This is your room. You have your mirror where you can power up all your things. Like this one gives you 50% extra damage striking from behind, which is really powerful. This one heals you for 3 every time you enter a room, which is really good. This one gives you an extra death, more or less, and you can flip them over. Store 30% instead of dying when your life total is depleted. Which, not sure. Oh, it's 1 time per chamber. Okay, so this one is just if you die, then half of your life comes back and you come back. Or this one, once per room, when you die, you restore 30% of your health. So that's interesting. This one gives you an extra dash, which is actually pretty important. You got bonus attack with your cast, which I'll show that when I get into the game. Getting an extra cast. Starting with 50 extra health. That's really good. And then these ones are just kind of like trying to put stuff into your favor, like a 4% more chance of all of your power-outs being legendary, or duos, which I've been trying to get the duos to fill out my codex for that. 16% more chance to have these more powerful power-ups. Mainly the hammer. The hammer is just really good. And then you get a 2.5% increase for each Olympians whose boons you have, which is pretty good. And then this is like the little codex. You know, you try, and each of the gods have their own like list of boons is what they call them, but they're the power-ups. If you collect them all, then you get a bunch of rewards which are needed for what I'm about to go do. Gotta play my little harp here. One of these days I'll get good at it. That's actually one of the things in the codex, is to train and get better at the lyre. Alright, so I got all kinds of stuff to do here now. Don't fully know what I need to get. I guess we'll do, or the urns get us a bit more. The whole thing is your father is pretty mad at you for even wanting to leave. There we go. Let's change that to some cooler looking candles. Doesn't really do a ton, but yeah, there's Hades. Got your Achilles. All kinds of cool stuff. All right, I'll get into the game now. Having that extra dash that you can see here is really good with the cast. So what it does is it sticks into them, and then until it's dead, if you have the thing from the mirror, you do more damage there. And I believe it stacks. No, it does not. Okay. So just nice way to do some extra damage, and there's things that power up your cast and turn it into something else. So start off with a power up here, see what we get. Hopefully a hammer. Ah, nope. That's okay. That's a good one.
I've never come across a target I couldn't take down. I expect the same of you hear me? Hopefully you hear me.
And so the whole thing is they're trying to help you get to Olympus, because I don't know. Hades kind of had a falling out with everyone. Still trying to learn on all the lore on that one. Alright, so attack is stronger with a 15% chance to deal critical. Really good, since with the sword you definitely are attacking a lot. True Shot is your cast seeks foes with a 10% chance to do critical damage, and it does 20 more damage. Or your Dash Strike does 50% more damage. I think the critical is going to help us out the most, and that's kind of what like her whole shtick is getting critical damage. Which is nice. Like it's really good to get the critical. Yay, food. And just like most like roguelike games, you can get to the point where you just want to be breaking all the urns just in case they have something cool in them. Okay. There we go. Nice and easy. So we can get a little bit of a health upgrade, or we can go with Athena. See if we can get some nice power-ups there. Yeah, let's get some health. It'll go a long way later on. I always forget I need to start remembering to put my cast. Yeah, there we go. Extra crit damage plus the backstab. There we go. And I thought about like completely starting over and doing a whole new series that way, but man, I've already put so much time into this. I didn't want to do that right away. Alright. These little guys are somewhat annoying, but there's little traps around that you can set off, which they take damage from too. If you can kind of lure them into the traps, then they will also get hurt. Not so much these ones because they're levitating, but there's a couple bosses that's kind of actually what I do, is just, you know, try and shove them around into the traps. The darkness is what's used to power up all your, like, the things from the mirror. Those things are jerks because they just grab you and then hold you into place. Ow. Took damage there that we didn't need to do, but so far it's okay because it's only 3 damage and we heal. Yep, see, there you go. Like, the trap does also hurt them. There we go. Hey, our Feather Duster ranked up. So now it's probably like a 5% chance. I can look. Yep, 5% chance that the urns will contain health drops, which is good. Alright, ooh, get Ares. Ares should be pretty good because the sword is definitely all about like doing damage with your attacks. So any extra damage you can add there, especially with the critical, then should be really good. And Ares is all about buffing that attack up, or causing an effect called Doom, which is whenever you hit them, there will be like a little spike over their head, and it'll crash down into them and deal a flat amount of damage. Ooh, got it. This little nectar that you see at the bottom, it's something that you can get as you go on, and you actually can gift it to the gods and stuff. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. You actually gift it to the gods and stuff, and it gives you those little trinkets. And some other stuff later on too, but I have not figured any of that out yet.
Do give him my best wishes should you see him soon.
And they do definitely converse with each other, which I think is awesome. Okay, so yeah, your special inflicts doom. The special is that AoE thing, so it'll do like an AoE burst, and anything that it hits will hit the doom, which is pretty good. Your cast sends out a blade rift instead of the diamond. That one's fine, but I think it's going to be this one. The after slaying the foe, your next attack or special deals 100% more damage. So you're essentially doubling your attack, and if we hit a crit on that, we can get a pretty ridiculous amount there. Okay, so I can either go for... I can never remember how... Dionysus, which is okay. I think I'm going to go with the Chaos. So as you saw, I took the 22 damage there. Did heal the 3, which is nice. But... Sorry, I think I like Chaos here. Okay, so like this one, you get, for the next 4 encounters, you basically decrease your move speed by half, but then once that's done, you deal, your cast does 33% more damage. Next 3 encounters take 29% damage or extra. Afterward, any gems or darkness you find is increased by 63%. Or each slain foe drops an Inferno Bomb, but afterward your special deals 41% damage. I'm going to go with this one. The taking more damage can be a little bit scary, but as long as we can, like, dodge things, we should be okay. Okay, so this one is Aphrodite, and this is Demetera, something. She does chill effects. She does, like, weaken effects. I think I'm going to go with the chill. The chill helps out a lot with later bosses. Speaking of a boss, we get the Doomstone here. This thing is just a damage sponge. The difficulty with this one is the fact that there's all these little guys around, and when they connect, as you can see, there was those purple lines there. Demeter.
Zeus, he has just a disgusting sense of humor, little sprout. He'd have you think he sired half the countryside. I have to shudder at the very thought.
You actually don't unlock her until you hit the final stage for the first time. Alright, so your cast is just a beam, much like the diamonds that were just there. It just does that. Your dash shoots a gust ahead that inflicts chill, which is not bad. Or whenever your cast damages foes. Oh, whenever you cast, damage foes around you. So just do like a little burst chill. I think I'm going to do the dash, because with the sword I do dash around a lot, so having that little frost burst in front of me will be pretty helpful. Okay, so we don't have a choice in room, so we will take the gold room. And the chill is nice because I'll show it here in just a second, but when they are chilled, they move slower, their attacks are slower. It's just really nice to have. Ow. And then I just walk myself right into some spikes. But yeah, you can clear rooms out pretty nicely by doing that. Get some gold. I think we've already cleared all of the urns. Oh, nope, there's some down here. And it's really cool because like each like time you pick up one of these boons, oh here I can show exactly what chill does. So for 8 seconds, the victim is slowed by 4%, and then it can stack up to 10 times. So slow them down by 40% of their move speed, which is really good. How many encounters is Oh, it doesn't say. Okay, well, that's fine. But so like with Athena's crit thing, or like extra critical damage, we get that little, we get those little leaves and that little green like shine. What did I get from Ares? Oh, cool. So I have only one more for that to level up. But then like since we got that gold, well now we actually shoot out little clouds of frost. So they do little things like that so you can physically see like, oh yeah, that's what I have. These little guys are somewhat annoying, but since we have this frost, we should be perfectly fine. As long as I stop walking into traps. These guys certainly can be annoying. Rooms like this, I'll get to the bow in another video, but rooms like that are why I do not like the bow all that much, because it doesn't really, like, it shoots slow and it can go through enemies, but it's really hard to like clear stuff like that out. Ooh, okay, so the hammer is going to be nice because that will give our actual sword a flat power up. These are troves, which all it does is it spawns in just a wave of enemies that you defeat quickly. I don't typically do it for the gems just because it doesn't give you much. Like, it's a time trial thing. Nope. Try and break all the urns, see if we can't find some health. Alright. So, let's see. Easy. I like facing these guys, especially with the chilled, because they're just very slow to begin with, but they do have that, like, that dash attack, which does a lot of damage, but, you know, it's fairly easy to telegraph. And if they're chilled, makes it even easier to figure out. But it's usually best to just get your cast in there if you have the power-ups to make it deal more, and kind of dash back and forth like I did there. Alright, ooh, we have some new ones too. Okay, so you can hold attack to strike rapidly, dealing 25 base damage per hit. Okay. Your dash strike hits twice and deals 20% extra damage. Okay, that's pretty good. Or your attack deals 200% damage striking foes from behind. You'll see these little scrolls here. That's that book the codex that I was talking about. It'll tell you what you don't have, so you can try and fill it out. Since I do the dashing a lot, I think I'm going to go with the Shadow Slash. I know it seems weird to say, hey, I go for the dashing a lot, let's not do the dash, but I am trying to fill out this codex, and getting behind the enemies is going to be fairly easy with the chill effect. And you'll see it because there will be the backstab like that. So what you do is you chill them, you get behind them. Well, maybe. There we go. Yeah. There we go. So I'm not always going to be able to do the backstabs, but when I can, it's going to be helpful. Man, I wish there was some coins laying around. So this is Charon's shop. Charon. Or this is a Palm of Power. The Palm of Power will upgrade some of the boons that we already have. Whereas with Charon's shop, I will more than likely be able to find another boon. I'm going to do that since we don't really have like a set build just yet. And then we'll be going into our first boss fight here in a second. Dang. Alright, so do I want Zeus or Hermes? I'm gonna go with Zeus.
Why not?
So we have some decent ones here. This one replaces the chill dash, but your dash causes a lightning bolt to strike foes nearby. Not gonna do that one. It doesn't really do a ton of damage. This one, after you dash just before getting hit, you strike your foes with a lightning bolt. These are pretty much the same thing, just this one you have to time better, so it kind of makes it worse. I'm going to go with the Heaven's Vengeance, so whenever you take damage, it strikes your foe with lightning, but it does 80 damage.
The Thunder God's might.
So I think I'm going to go with that. Can talk to him, but he doesn't really say anything. And we get to go into our boss fight, which will be one of the 3 Fury Sisters. When you first start out, it'll be Megara for most of the time, but then her other 2 sisters will come in periodically.
Try as I might, I still have not forgiven you for beating me last time. Call it a crippling character flaw, I don't know.
Forgiveness can take time, though self-reflection is a healthy step. We're making progress.
As you can tell, Zagreus is a little
You think we're making
witty
progress
person.
here? Why, you piece of trash. I'll show you progress.
Yeah, she is not nice. She is one of the ones that I was talking about earlier that I walk into the traps as often as possible. So if we can get to doing the backstabs on her, we should be pretty good. We are taking a decent amount of damage here. Thankfully, like I was saying, we can just walk her into some traps when possible, and she will eventually wear herself out. She mad. Taking a lot of extra damage that I should not be. There we go. And she's dead. Hurt myself quite a bit there, but...
Got her.
And, you know, everything that you do gives you all these little codexes that you can learn about the lore. Ooh, some health. That'll be nice.
5-second rule. That was 5 seconds, right?
Might as well break the rest of these urns too. Alright, so we go on to the second world, which is definitely my least favorite. Just because it has a bunch of like lava that you have to dodge the whole time. Alright, so here we can change out our keepsakes, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Skelly's keepsake, which gives you an extra death defy, and I have it fully ranked up, so it restores 100%. And then let's see if there's anything here that can help. An extra 50% damage from behind. Yeah, let's do these two. The first one, you get 10% of your health back after every chamber for the next 3 chambers. Oh, and then this red one, you can sell back boons if there's just a different build you want to go. But we're doing pretty good here. Okay.
So much for Tartarus.
Yeah, there we go. So we get 18 extra health there. Then when we start the next one, because there's always an in-between room that kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to be going into. And most of them have these little things that you can look out over, which is really cool. So you can see from that, hey, this world's going to be fire. Lots and lots of fire. Okay, so that'll be a permanent health boost again. And then we get that 10% damage. So those are always kind of nice to start worlds off with. The enemies on this aren't too terribly hard unless there's one pair that it's like a mini boss. It's a Mega Gorgon with, well, of course when I do that it doesn't help. It's a mini Gorgon with a, what they call a Skull Smasher, which is basically these guys that jump in the air and smack onto your head. But why do I keep walking into this? When you pair it with the Mega Gorgon, she of course like turns you into stone, so you're locked into a place, and then the Skull Smasher just bashes you in the head. It hurts, and it's a pain. All right, so I can go with Hermes. I can get some money. See if there's a third option. And break whatever urns I can. Although, since I took that off, the urns won't drop any health items now. So, I guess that's kind of a waste. Let's go with money. That way if we... sorry. If we do find a shop later on, then we should be able to get some more stuff. So, get some coin. Yep, here's the Skull Smashers. So, it's one of those, but it's a big version of it. And it's a pain. And you might think these guys probably don't have a back, but they do. I'm just not hitting it. Because I keep dodging the wrong direction. These guys are a little bit annoying. Oh. Push them into the fire. All right.
I'm rich.
So here, only two options again. We have health or the palm. I think I'm actually going to go with the palm. We're getting to the stages where our first power-ups aren't really going to like scale well. So anytime that we can stay out of the fire. Well, that too. Anytime we can stay out of the fire is good. But anytime, ow, that we can, anytime that we can get some extra damage off of that is helpful. Stop. Stop. Stay out of the fire. Alright, get a little sneak peek of what the boss for this level is. I have taken way more damage than I should have from this round. Mainly from fire and stupid things, but... Okay, so we can do an extra 28% damage, get 130% damage on our next attack after we kill something, or deal a flat 144 damage when we get hit. I'll go do the 28% stronger attack. And then I hurt myself some more. Let's see if we can get some more cool, like, critical power-ups. Need health, too. Need health pretty badly. Hey, speak of the devil. I know it's going to be a lot of clicky clackies, but that's kind of what you got to do. Get away from me. There we go. That was
Farewell, gigantic organ head.
really
In
close.
the name of Hades.
Really close.
Nice.
Ooh, okay, so Hunter's Mark is something that I haven't had yet, so that'll be really nice. So it can do what we had before, where your cast does extra damage in the critical, or after you deal critical damage to a foe, it is marked, and then you get an extra 40% chance of hitting the critical on it if it's marked. Or after you cast hit with an attack or special, you fire an arrow, which does like 12 damage, and that one's really nice too. But since we don't have this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and try and finish these. So I actually can't go here because I don't have the 24 health to give. But some gold, I guess, will be helpful. And that would have just been another of those chaos boons. Okay, having a well here is nice. Hopefully it will
Makers.
have some health for us. And there's one of my Death Defieds gone. Okay, so yeah, having that Hunter's Mark is really nice. Okay.
I'll just take that.
Well, that wasn't miserable. Ooh, okay. So let me go back to that well, since we do have some extra money now. Yeah, okay. So, same thing that we had at the beginning of this world, where we have the extra 10% health every time we enter a room. Okay, so we can get a palm to level something up. We can get more money, which we don't need. Or, this one is a double power room. So both of these will show up. You pick one, you get the boon from it, you fight the other one, and then once you beat that, then you also get a boon from them. So those are nice to have. It's a little tough, especially with Zeus and Demeter being the two of them, but we should be okay. Let's not make Demeter mad.
You have my gratitude.
Like, Zeus being mad is also kind of terrifying, but okay, so any effects are more potent, and then you restore 91 health now. That's pretty good. So let's go with that.
I did not restore order to this world and claim the heavens for myself, only to be insulted by my own nephew.
Yeah, they take it personally.
Didn't have much choice.
So I'll have this room, which will be all heightened enemies, and as you can see, he will be raining down lightning the entire time. And of course, it's all these annoying little guys. Get out of the fire! It's funny because I honestly think, because of the lava and stuff like that, this world is worse than, like, the last one. Because this is the only one that you have, like, that kind of environmental damage that you have to worry about. Ooh, boy. Well, it's a good thing that we got healed, because we gonna need it. Especially, they keep giving us all these ranged enemies when it's really hard.
No need to hold such grudges any longer, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you just mind yourself around your Uncle Zeus.
Yeah. So, I mean, I knew it was going to be tough because Zeus is, I mean, it's Zeus. Okay, so Jolted is pretty good because that means the next time that the enemy goes to attack, it does that flat 60 damage to him. The electric shot is also not bad Gives our cast lightning that goes, you know, bolts around other enemies if they're nearby. Yeah, let's do that.
Shocking.
Okay. So I think we're gonna take the shop. Let's see what this is. I don't really have the health to do all that. So let's go to the shop. We have enough for 2 boons and a health item if that's what's in there. So. Okay, so a boon, a random power up, and some darkness. That'll be nice.
Trust your ferry boatman Charon has no qualms about the freezing temperatures up here.
Okay, so your special is stronger and inflicts chill. Whenever you cast, damage foes around you and do chill. Or while you have no... So if you send both of your casts out, then you take 10% less damage and deal 10% more. That's probably not bad. And do the random power up. The electric shot went up. Ah, okay, cool. So now it does 94 damage. Alright, well that's pretty good then. And I'll go ahead and buy that. No real reason not to. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to hit you. And alright, this is the Bone Hydra fight. Bone Hydra is interesting. It's not like the hardest thing in the world, it's just a bunch of spamming. Is pretty much the fight. He'll send out some ads here in a second. Yep. Got a lot of these. So now that we got that power up, we'll want to be making sure we shoot the cast as often as possible. Kind of want to get these ads dead too while we can. Ow. No, which is not. There's skull crushers? That is unfair. Alright. Having a bit of a tough time here, but should be okay. Nope. Things are a little annoying, and we are probably honestly going to die here. Having those armored ads has been really rough. And you know, when you put yourself into the lava, yep. Ah. Boo! Okay, well, I'll show what happens when you die. So, you got old Hypnos here.
So you come in. Welcome back.
Bye, Hypnos.
Most of the time, he will just rub in the face how you just died. Hades will kind of laugh at you.
Troubled you again, Cerberus. I know how much you value resting here, and yet I have no better means to bar the entry to our realm than you.
He's petty.
I thought you'd figured out by now that guilting me into abandoning my quest won't work. You're the one who should feel guilty forcing Cerberus to block my path.
What would you know of it? Cerberus cannot be forced to do anything. He simply understands he has responsibilities.
Yeah.
And there it is again.
Yeah, he's petty. But you can talk to Cerberus.
The vicious Cerberus is watching quietly his master's court.
But the best of all,
Take care.
you
want
can
more
pet
pets? More
Cerberus.
pets here, boy.
And you actually get an achievement if you do it 10 times. So I always just make sure to give Mr. Cerberus the pets. Well, I guess just we don't know what Cerberus
Well,
is.
look at you, lad, with that codex brimming with our history.
We just give
I thought I
Cerberus
could
the
rely on you
pets.
to fill it out. Back when I was alive, why, no one would have ever believed what goes on down here.
Mortals must have had their stories, though, about what happens to them once they die and once they end up in this place.
But they had their stories, definitely so. They fear your father, understandably. They also fear your dog. But most of them know precious little else. Even their fears, I think, are born of ignorance, as most fears tend to be.
Achilles is the one that originally wrote the codex, so you're just kind of going off of his thing.
Something obvious? It's a new song from someone who still cares for you.
My friend, you wrote a song for me. Oh, but this is not from you, it's from Eurydice. I don't know what to say.
Take all the time you need, mate.
So, I mean, each character has a bunch of like level up stuff and everything like that. I'll go ahead and end the video here and do all of this kind of boring stuff off the side. But yeah, this was the first video for Hades. Hopefully it's something that you all enjoy. It's definitely a game that I recommend, like I said, to anyone that likes any of this style of game, or even if you've never tried them before, this is a good one to get into because, yes, there's a lot of like smaller details and things to like figure out and learn, and that helps you, but you don't need them. Like, you can just play and figure out the lore and get as far as you can and just have fun that way too. They do also, like I showed in the beginning there, they have a thing called God Mode that you start at like a 20% base damage resistance, and then every time you die, it goes up by, I think, 2% every time you die or something like that. And then you just, you get that buff. So if you're maybe newer to this style of game, they have that to kind of help out to where you're just more worried about having fun, getting the lore, finding the characters, doing all that stuff, not so much about I need to be the best at this game that I can and min-max all these things. It's just, you don't have to worry about all of that, which is nice. So, but yeah, definitely going to be doing more videos of this. We'll see how long the series goes. I at least want to get through all of the weapons and see how far I can get with each of those and show them off to you and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'll definitely still be playing this game for a while. I have a lot to do and a lot left to go. So, yep, if it's something you enjoyed, just let me know, and I will see you next week.